Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's just going to be a quick little video. I thought I'd show you how I propagate two of my houseplants, and they are spider plants and a pothos plant, or some people call it devil's ivy, I think. I have one pothos plant and one spider plant, and I now have about 6 spider plants around the house. I would have a lot more, but I give them as gifts quite regularly. And then I have about 12 pothos plants throughout the house. All I need is a pair of scissors and a little jar that I'm going to fill with water. And this is the pothos in question that I am going to be taking cuttings from. It has gotten really long, and now when you're in the bath, this part here gets in your hair. So I'm going to take a cutting from this and show you what I do with it. So this is the cutting that I've just taken. More will grow down and they'll fill out and it won't affect the plant at all. And this is what I've got. You can do 2 different things with this if you wanted to. The A could be you literally keep it in one length and grow one long pothos, or, which I'm going to do and I would encourage you to do, you cut it up and get an individual plant for each leaf. These, can you see on these plants they have these little bits here, these little kind of brown sticky eye bits. These are the nodes of the plant, and this is where the roots are going to grow. And all we're going to do is chop between each node, leaving about half a centimetre to a centimetre on either side of the node, and each node has a leaf attached to it. So we're going to cut all of this up and then submerge the nodes in water. And what will happen is the water will feed the nodes and the roots will start to grow from these nodes, and then you will have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 pothos plants from this one cutting. So I'm going to do that now and I'll show you how. So this is my pothos plant. They need a bit of a dust. Yeah, I'm not the best at keeping my house plants de-dusted, but can you see here that I'm going to cut. So this is the first one. This is my first plant. That's the first one that I'm going to be putting in. And then I don't need that much, so I cut. Last one, you can see where the new plants are coming out from it. So this will stay as one, and I'll submerge this node, and we're going to keep these attached because there's already a new fresh baby leaf coming right here. That's another fresh one coming just there. So this is already, in a few days, weeks, this will be 3 leaves already. Then we've got these plants. What I'm going to do is get a little kind of container. I've just got one of these old like yogurt glass pots. You can use cups or anything else. Fill it with water, and then we are going to submerge the nodes into the water. And this water will need changing every week. All of the nodes are submerged. Gonna leave them in there for a few weeks until roots start to grow, and then we can pot it up, much like this one I made earlier. I planted these ages ago. I should have potted them up a really long time ago because the roots aren't looking amazingly healthy. But I was waiting to film this video, so I've got these that I submerged probably a month or so ago, and now I'm going to pot this up. And then once you pot this up into a pot, you could either put a couple in, or you could put one in, or you could put all of them in. I'm going to put all of them in because I like really full, bushy pothos plant. But then, as long as you keep the soil quite moist for the first few, people probably hate that word. As long as you keep the soil quite damp for the first few weeks, your pothos will be rooted, and then you only need to water them once every few weeks. Don't overwater your plants. If anything, underwater them, and if they start to look a little bit droopy, that's telling you they need water. That's how I do it anyway. So I'm gonna then pot this up and then we have a beautiful Pothos plant. Right, once you filled this up, you're gonna poke holes, grab a leaf with a node and see how long this root's gotten, and we're going to just poke it in and then squish it down. This one's not the prettiest leaf, but the first leaves do tend to die back once they start, the rest of the plant starts to grow. That's what I found at least. So that's it for now. And I've got to make sure I give them a good water. Second plant that is the same concept, the spider plant. This is my mama's spider plant, and you can't see how big it is because the camera right there, let me see. This is how big it is. It's really big, and I have taken all of my cuttings and babies from this spider plant, and as you can see, we have a few more. If I'd kept all of the babies that I'd gotten from my spider plants, I think my entire house would be full of spider plants. Take our scissors, and I'm going to cut these off. So these actually came from flowers. If you have a spider plant, you'll know that these come out and they flower. These are your babies. So I technically have 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 4 or 5 babies on here that I can have full grown spider plants from. This is filthy. Oh my goodness, I need to dust. Oh, can you see this? Oh geez. We have all of our babies. I'm going to separate them out. So from that we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 baby plants. And with spider plants, you don't technically need to submerge them. They're pretty hardy. They don't need the roots. If you just put these into a pot, like that, into a pot with very damp compost, then they would grow roots. However, I like a safety measure. I like to submerge them so that I know that they have roots before I pot them. But with the spider plants, you only need a teeny tiny literal drop of water, because if you put too much in, it will start to rot the plants. You just need enough to cover the bottom of the plant to be able to grow roots from. I'll add maybe a touch more in. So these are my spider plants. Can you see? Little amount of water. Like, that's probably a little bit too much, but they will drink it quite quickly. And again, either you won't need to change it because they'll drink the water quicker, but just make sure there's about that much water in, a little bit less perhaps, at all times, and then you'll notice roots start to grow. With like this one that I made earlier. So this is just one spider baby that I planted again the same time as the previous Pothos, and I've got all of these roots. And spider plants really like to be root bound, so they do not need a massive pot. They prefer to have a smaller pot and for the roots to be root bound, and they prefer that. They thrive better. But spider plants, if you are new to house plants, please get yourself a spider plant. They are the easiest plant ever. This big spider plant that I just showed you is as old as my eldest son, so 7 years, and I've gotten all my babies from it. And that's the thing, you only need to buy one and you'll have spider plants forever, because even if that big spider plant dies that I've got in the corner that you can't really see, it's given me so many other babies that are now making babies itself. Like, all of my other baby spider plants are now having babies. I'm going to pot this up as well, and I will show you at the end. Oh, I'm making a right mess of this, aren't I? I always do. So this is the Pothos. In a few weeks or months they will start to grow, and I like, as you can see, quite full plants. They'll grow outwards, and then probably by 6 months time I should even be able to maybe take cuttings from them, because they do grow quicker in the summer months. So that's the Pothos. I'm going to give them a very good water. And then this is the little baby spider plant, and this time next year this will be giving me loads of babies, I am sure. But these are the 2 new plants, and then here is all of my ones that are now propagating. So these are growing roots for me, and I'll be doing the exact same process that I've just done with the spider plant and the Pothos there with these ones, but with the spider plant I'll have hopefully 5 baby spider plants rather than just the 1. This is how I get loads of houseplants and able to give them away for presents and have loads in my house, all for just the price of the compost and the pots that you put them in. With all of my pots that I have, and when people are just giving away pots for free and I collect them, and then I would normally use my own compost from my garden, but I had some of this left, so I thought I would use the rest of that. Or I would buy a big thing of compost from any garden centre that's just an outside general compost, because you get a lot more for your money than you do with the houseplants ones. And that's the case with quite a lot of, especially hanging type plants. They normally are really easy to propagate, but most plants, to an extent, most houseplants can be propagated. Some of these are just the easiest, and the easiest plants that I found to keep alive. That is everything for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you have houseplants that you didn't realise you could propagate, and if you're going to start doing that. Leave a comment and like, subscribe, all of that. You know the drill by now, I'm sure. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends.